Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been ages since I've done like a commentary and a chat about Warzone and the state of things, what I'm feeling about the game. And one of the big topics I wanted to talk about today was casual BR, and this is a casual BR gameplay. This is 45 kills in casual BR with the win, so I don't want to, be here saying like, look at me, I'm dropping a 40 bomb in BR. This is casual mode, and casual mode was one of the biggest additions to Season 3 of Warzone, and probably one of the biggest additions to Warzone in a long time, and casual mode obviously has bots. I really would love to get your opinion on casual mode in the comments, so like just give me a comment, what do you think about it, do you like it? It is definitely one of the biggest changes, and I think this is great for a number of reasons, and I wanted to just spend some time talking about like what I really love about casual mode, the future of casual mode, and how it might impact going forward. And now we know in Season 4 we're going to get casual Resurgence, which will be coming in the middle of the season. It's going to make things really interesting, and this is why I think that. So obviously, to start with the positives, this mode is fantastic for people that just don't want to worry about skill-based matchmaking. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking is horrendously bad. It is terrible, and it impacts gamers that just, are good at the game, even maybe slightly above average at the game, and then they end up getting absolutely railed by skill-based matchmaking. It forces you to play VR or Resurgence in a specific way, and that way is you have to play well with a team, you have to use the meta weapons, you have to try really hard. And there's no really other way about that. And that is not what Call of Duty has always been about. It has always been about having fun with your friends, and casual BR is definitely that first step back towards that. Now, obviously, you're fighting bots, so there is that element of it. It's a multiplayer game, but you're only going up against 20, 25, 30 players in your lobby. So the same satisfaction of a normal multiplayer game, I don't think is here when you're just fighting bots. It's like PvE. The other thing is it's really hard sometimes to know if you're fighting real people. Obviously, these guys here, I feel like were real people because they were stacked up on a roof. But, like, look at this guy. He's got no idea what he's doing. And that is the thing about casual mode. It's great for people who just want to get back, try out the new game, get back on the map, level up guns, and just have fun with their mates. And that is definitely a massive plus with casual mode. I also think it's great for camo grinders. All of these kills, they count for the Warzone camos, and the Warzone Mastery camo is extremely difficult, obviously. It's probably the most difficult camo grind that we've had in a Call of Duty in ages, because it's so situational with some of the camos. So the fact that you can grind that out here and do it on BR is great. It's also just really nice for people that just want to chill mode, like you don't have to be grinding and sweating against really good players. One mistake is not going to cost you the entire game because you can kind of reset a lot of fights with the bots. In fact, the bots really don't put up any fight at all. It would be really interesting to see if they had varying levels of difficulty not bosses, just enemies. So some of the bots you come across are set to casual difficulty, where some of them are set to hardened or veteran or whatever. So they actually do put up a bit more of a fight. I know they don't want people dying in this mode to bots. That is ultimately what they want. They want people to be just destroying the bots and having that feeling that I'm destroying the bots. So there's that massive plus, obviously, to the game. I also really like the fact that the modes are extremely quick, like the rounds. You get into games so quickly because it does have that lower player count. Whereas if you're waiting for normal Battle Royale, especially in Australia, I know I mention it so much that, but it is a massive factor over here, is you do end up waiting. So if you get killed right off the rip, then you can spend a lot of time just queuing up and just waiting for a game. Especially if you're playing solo, you could be waiting 10-15 minutes before you play another one, and you could play for 5 minutes and then you're done. So with this, because it's only 20-ish players, you get straight into another round. So that's a really positive thing as well. Now, this player count is where I start thinking about the negative. And the negative of this is skill-based matchmaking is already strung so tight. I'm not sure if there's any skill-based matchmaking with this at all. It's just whoever is queuing up goes in, because, again, it says casual. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it is going to take a lot of players out of the normal skill-based matchmaking pool. And I think that is going to be a massive issue going forward, especially with Resurgence. A lot of people want to jump on Resurgence already because it's a more casual game mode. Now, that may not always be the case because a lot of the best players are primarily Resurgence players, or, you know, a lot of players prefer that quicker game style. So the good players go towards that because there's more kills on offer, or there's more engagements per minute, and you don't have to wait around for games. You know, the lobbies are already 40 people, so you just get straight into a game. Now, with casual Resurgence coming up, I'm wondering if that's going to just eliminate that bottom tier of the bracket completely out of matchmaking, because people just don't want to deal with good players. You know, people just want to jump on and chill. And it's also going to be interesting to see how much of the lobby is going to be bots compared to just normal players. Because obviously in Resurgence, you can wipe a team really, really quickly, and they're not coming back. They don't have gulag, or they don't have buybacks with the bots. I don't know if the bots can buy back teammates. I actually have no idea. But you could end up running through lobbies really quickly because there's only 40 people in a normal Rebirth lobby, or 43 or something like that. So they're going to have to find that balance. I don't know if it's 3 teams, 3 teams of 3. I think they said it was going to be trios, or 4 teams of 3, and then you've got like a quarter of the lobby is bots. 3/4 of the lobby is bots. But I think it's going to eliminate a lot of the bad players, or maybe, again, the casual players out of normal matchmaking. So when you go to find a normal Resurgence game, it's going to be really hard. It's going to start taking away players from that. And I know, you know, they want to promote this casual experience, but is it going to then take away from people wanting to be better at the game, getting better at the game? You know, grinding out and improving strategy, improving how you face off against actual human competitors. Because there's no real way to do that against bots. Because as you can see, every single engagement I'm going up against, I'm just running through the bots. Because, again, that's what they want. But when you have a fight like this one happening right now, these guys are clearly players. You can see I've got to think about how I'm going to engage, how I'm going to back off. And you're just not going to get that experience as often. And even like those guys are pretty terrible. They still put up a good fight against me. Like, I had to, you know, make sure that my shots were on point, etc., etc. Now, this guy I think was a real player again, because squad wiped. I don't know. He was sliding around and everything. He had a lot of like loot that seems like it would be a real player. But again, I'm not sure how the bots work. So anyway, casual mode I think overall is a really interesting experience, and it's going to it's going to make a big impact going forward if people prioritize playing this mode compared to playing the normal BR or the normal Resurgence. In terms of the rest of the season, I think this has been a really, really positive season for Call of Duty. I think a lot of positive press. I think the game is really fun to play. I think the weapon meta is absolutely fantastic. Like, there's so many good guns to use. You've probably got like 5 or 6 like elite options in each category, and that being range, close range, and then also the in-between. So the fact that a lot of guns are very viable is extremely fun, and it means that you can, you know, you can change things up and you can keep the game fresh, or you can make different combinations that go together, or there's a lot of different variety, and it feels really nice. You know, do you want the faster firing, high recoil SMG, or do you want the better one at range, but it's a bit slower up close? Do you want the DMR that has fantastic pack-a-punch over range, or do you want like a closer range AR? That element is absolutely fantastic at the moment. I'm really loving the weapon meta and the balancing. I think the season overall had a lot of good options for Warzone. Having Verdansk back is obviously awesome. It's great to see that they brought the map back pretty much exactly the same. And then they also gave time for the original without the zip lines for people to play and experience that and realize how good it is to have zip lines in there as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the new season goes. They're adding that new POI, which is cool, the big tower. It looks like it's going to have a lot of versatility in the way that it plays and add a lot of different, kind of style to downtown with the loot. And I hope it kind of ends up being that Nakatomi Tower where you can go in there and get specialists. That would be super cool. I think they definitely need to just keep adding cool weapons to the game with the FFAR and the LC10 coming back next season. That should be really fun. Can't wait to rock the fire in the car. And I really want them to keep buffing the other guns now. So make the Modern Warfare 3 and the Modern Warfare 2 weapons a bit more usable. Keep reducing that visual recoil and that shake that they have, or maybe tinker around with some of the attachments to help with that. That would be really interesting to see. Overall, I think the game is quite fun to play, so that's a good thing. The TTK is probably the only thing that needs to be adjusted. I feel like a slightly slower TTK would be really good, but it also is fun just being able to rip through everybody with the fast TTK. So if they don't do anything with that, I'm completely fine with it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay of Casual BR. As you can see here, these guys have no idea what they're doing. So I don't know. We'll see how this develops in the future. But let me know what you think of Casual Royale. Let me know what you think of Casual Resurgence coming. Appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.